Well, now you're one of 8 instead of one of 12, which really narrows the field, and it's even a bigger achievement to get to where we are now, because the elimination process, started at regionals. But the fact that we competed so well at the SEC championships, but also the last few meets going into the championships, we felt like we were a really, really good team. And then to win the SEC championship again, and then to have some adversity at regionals for this team to compete 2 nights back to back and do what they were able to do with limited personnel, and the kids that were out there were injured or sick. So we feel like right now we're on the upswing. We're kind of riding another good wave, and the practice today, we were very light last week, and so I think our practice today was really good, and I think the mental preparation and what the kids accomplished today will give them a lot of confidence going into the meet. We have one more day at home, and then we travel, do nothing on Wednesday, and we'll have a light practice on the podium. And that's always a positive experience. To be on the podium, it's a little bit softer, and the kids really enjoy it. So we feel like we're in a great place, much better than we were going into regionals.
Coach, do you mind if I reposition this mic?
No, I don't mind. Which one? That one?
This one.
Yeah, just clap.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it right
Yeah.
here.
No, Chris, just keep it away.
I'll just put it on the chair.
There you go, right there.
I don't know what'll hold right there.
There you go.
You got it?
Got
Okay.
it. That's,
Is that good?
yeah, that's, thanks.
Sorry.
You've had so many experiences in this moment, the big stage. How do you approach it with the girls, knowing some of them haven't been here, some of them have, and knowing you guys are all chasing something?
Yeah, the only one on the squad that really hasn't been to the championships or has been and hasn't competed, Bailey Ferrer, and she's done a remarkable job for a freshman coming in January. And Bridget, didn't compete at all last year and is now in 2 really critical spots for us. She's solid on beam, and she's our backup on bars, and she may end up doing bars depending on how well they both train tomorrow and on Thursday. But yeah, we've been here. This team's been here. They're really eager, very excited, and I really believe that it's going to be the team that goes out there and relaxes and just gets in the process of having a good competition and doesn't try. When you start trying, you start pushing, and the things don't happen the way they're supposed to fall. So you just got to remove the clutter and just go out there and do exactly what they did today in practice. Today in practice, it was all about doing one set. It's got to be the best one you got in you today, and they did that. So on every event, they did every event today, which we don't usually do leg events on the same day. So we've been there, done that, have not come out number 1, and of course that's our goal.
You mentioned it a second ago, it being a bigger accomplishment to get here because it's 8
Yeah.
instead of 12. Going forward, do you look at it any differently? Do you, is it more pressure because only 2 teams advance from each semi? How do you look at that?
I think there's a little more pressure because that's what's going to happen. 2 teams will be eliminated instead of 3. So it's our express goal to go in there that first day and relax and enjoy it and beat a couple of teams, and then the best 4 teams on the floor the next night. Let's go out there and compete for a national championship. But last year we won the national championship on the first night, and the kids were a little bit tired and fatigued and made a few mistakes, but still did well. So we're wanting to go there and advance and then compete for a national championship.
It's crazy because last year your score would have won a national
Yeah,
championship.
the first night,
And then, but you finished lower than you did some years when you were the runner-up.
Well, the first night our score was amazing. We had a great competition, and then the second night we weren't bad. We didn't score as well, but the score that we scored would have previously won the national championship. And that's just, there's so much parity and there's so much talent in women's gymnastics now, and there's so much attention on it because of TV and because of the support that the schools have gotten across the board. There's so many of us now that are packing our arenas and bringing attention to our university. So all you can do is all you can do. And let's just get out there. And Sarah Finnegan's in a great place. Lexi Priestman did super bars today. She also did floor and vaulting, and that's the 3 events she did at SEC. So, we feel like like I said, we're on the upside of a wave, and we just want to ride it into the championships.
kind of piggybacking off that, Dee Dee, you mentioned girls like Lexi, a girl like Sammy, Juliana, stuff like that.
Yeah.
In an ideal, I know you got a couple days of practice left, but in an ideal situation, what do you see a girl like Sammy and Juliana's role being?
Oh, Sammy, start us off on bars, give us a great beam routine. That she's done that all season long. I mean, she's just been remarkable. Juliana is a backup for us on floor, and she did a full floor routine today. She tumbled really well at regionals, and she's probably make the vaulting lineup or be a backup in that event, and you've got to be ready to go if we look over our shoulder and say you're in. So she's got a lot of pressure on her to stay ready and be ready to go.
I know it changes, from competition to competition, the scores and everything, but is there an idea in mind where you want to be score-wise?
We think the first day we want to go 197.5, 197, in that range, and that should be good enough to beat a couple of teams unless somebody just goes crazy. Love to win it that day, and if that's good enough. But the goal the first day is to compete, be comfortable, be relaxed, have a great time, and don't put any pressure on yourself to get into the next night. And then the next night, it's blow and go, let it all out. It's the last big performance for Lexi Priestman, Sarah Finnegan, McKenna Kelly, and Juliana Canamella. So we just want it to be a great experience.
In a way, does the new format help with the national semifinal and the championship? Because you did it already. You did the compete Friday night and Saturday now, and you're ready to do it again.
I think the kids know now that they're ready, that our preparation and all of our dual meets and everything that we've done with the inter squad before that, the kids trust their training, and they trust that they're ready and they're going to be all they can be when they get to the championships. We're not doing a lot. We're not pounding a lot. We want to be rested. We want their legs to be fresh when we get there.
Is it different to look across the field now and see just two SEC teams? It's usually
that is really different. That is really different. Usually half the field is from the SEC, and I think that'll be a strange look. We're not always in the same, but there's usually two or three of us in the same rotation, and it's just LSU and Georgia. So we want to represent the conference. We want to represent well and bring home a championship.
When you talk about the gradual build-up from the beginning of the season to now, are these routines built for a championship meet to be able to kind of gradually get better as the season goes, and if you execute at the highest level?
You want to get better as the season progresses, and I think this team has. I mean, it's evident by the improvement that we've made in our performances and the consistency that we've had and the momentum that this team's been able to create, and they've brought that momentum from regionals, and we let them come down, and now we're like I said, we're riding it back up to the top. And momentum is a critical part of what we're trying to do here. UCLA and Oklahoma have been ranked 1 and 2 all season long. And that's okay, because when you get to the championships, rankings don't matter. So we just get out there and do the best gymnastics we have. And who thought our basketball team would go as far as they went? I did. So, I believe this team has what it takes to win a championship. We just have to do it that night.
Is it not, I don't know if intimidate is the right word, but not get caught up in, oh, that's Oklahoma who won 2 in a row or whatever it was. Oh,
Yeah.
there's UCLA who won it last year, and just focus on what you guys can control?
Yeah, all you can do is control what you have to control, and this team has done that from, like I said, from that gym quarters meet in St. Louis, our double weekend. They really began to take charge of this team and back up what they're talking about with what they're doing. And the fact that UCLA and Oklahoma have won a national championship already, multiple ones, that doesn't mean they're going to win this one.
Dee Dee, in terms of recent years, how have you guys stacked up in that the afternoon? Not that it really matters that much, but you going to the
It does kind of matter. Last year we were in that evening session, the late session, and we didn't get out of there till 12:30, 1 o'clock, and had to be back, up, getting treatment ready. And the afternoon session does give you more time. The crowd's not as big. It's just a little bit quieter in the arena, which is fine. I think we're going to travel well. We'll have a lot of fans there. So, it's just a matter of getting out there and doing what we did at home at regionals, and then, bring our best gymnastics.
It was 2 years ago in St. Louis. You guys were kind of exhausted after that first night, huh? When you
Was
were in the
it
late
2 years
session.
ago, or was it last year? I think it was last year that it was hard. I can't remember. It was 2 years ago?
St. Louis,
Specifically, I mean, you guys were talking about 2 years ago how tired you were from
Yeah.
Friday to Saturday.
Yeah. But they were both in St. Louis the 2 years prior. I can't remember. I'm focused on this one.
I guess Lexi, you mentioned that she's been training.
Yeah.
How's she feeling after?
She felt great today. We held her back. She wanted to do more, and we stopped her because she's got this this internal thing that has to continue to push and do more, and sometimes that doesn't play well for her. So we shut her down. She did one good vault, and we shut her down, and she begged for more. We wouldn't let her. She did a floor routine with only 2 passes in it. So tomorrow we'll let her do a full floor routine. So she's did a bar routine today that went 9.95. So, you know, when you're getting that kind of stuff in practice, your first day back when she hadn't done anything in 2 weeks, that's pretty impressive.
Didi, how prepared do you think this team is to deal with maybe if adversity hits? Last year in the semis, I think there was a fall on beam. Was that last year? I can't remember. But just
I don't remember.
Hits, are these girls ready for something like that?
I think that they're not expecting adversity. They dealt with adversity at the regionals, and nobody knew they had it. You know, nobody knew, you know, what was going on. Nobody knew Sarah Finnegan was sick. Nobody, you know, they said, oh, that was really smart that y'all pulled her off the floor, didn't make her do a floor routine. Well, she couldn't have done a floor routine. The truth of the matter is she was willing to try. But they're rested now and ready to go. We're good?
Thanks, Coach.
One more.
Okay, go ahead.
One more. Does something crazy have to happen for you guys to win this thing? Does it have to somebody get a 10? Or
Pigs
is it just
fly or something like that?
From everybody? Is that
Will Wade get reinstated?
No.
Will Wade got reinstated, so
sometimes
yeah.
crazy things happen? People will get 10s, or does it maybe take more?
You know, that's what happened last year. That's how UCLA came from behind and won it last year. Is they ended up with a, you know, Ping Ping got a 10 on a beam routine that was absolutely perfect. So, you know, you can't slight somebody for that. And there's 6 officials on the floor. They're going to see more. They're going to take more deductions. So no, you know, I don't think anything spectacular has to happen. I think they have to have the mindset that Tiger Woods had yesterday. That he just take it one thing at a time. Don't look around. Don't be aware of what other people are doing. Focus on your game, your next skill. Stay in the process.